Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Circuito Ricardo Tormo in the outskirts of Valencia, Spain, where we have the Spanish Grand Prix 2025 edition, and boy, what a race it's tasting out to be, or it's looking out to be. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, to be honest. We've got Kimi Antonelli on pole, the first time in his career. He's got the pole position point, which he desperately needs after the horrific race he had last time out. Hasn't actually scored a point since the Chinese Grand Prix, and apart from the 7th place in the sprint last week, he'd only scored once this season at the Chinese Grand Prix, which he got a podium in that 2nd place. Of course, with the weird pit lane issue causing him to not have a great race last year, despite being near the front, unfortunately, at his home race. But anyway, let's go through your grid then. Of course, 23 cards. We have, as last week, 3 wild cards. We'll go through them once we get to them. 23rd place is Frederick Vesti. 22nd, Zane Maloney. And then Liam, of course, 2nd place last week from Zane Maloney, so surprised he's that far back. Liam Lawson, 21st. First wildcard driver, Mari Boyer, the Aston Martin Academy driver, down in 20th. Then you've got Drogovic, Doohan, Porcher, Palou, 2nd wildcard driver. Surprised he's that far back in the Mercedes. Of course, last week he was crowned IndyCar champion. Now he's making his debut in between race weekends, racing at Milwaukee next week, and then season finale at Nashville. Then we've got Sainz, Norris, championship contender, down in 14th place. Marty, final wildcard driver, 2nd place at the F2 World Cup in Misano in February, hoping to recreate something like that, starting in 13th. Probably won't happen realistically. We've got Albon 12th, Leclerc 11th, Gasly 10th, Stroll 9th, Hamilton 8th, Verstappen 7th, Snowder 6th, championship leader Behrman in 5th, Ocon 4th, Russell 3rd, Piastri another good qualifying. He's hoping to claw the gap on Oliver Behrman. He's only, like Antonelli, only scored points in 1 race so far this season. That was the win he got at South Africa, but it's the sprint results. The win last week at Adria and the 2nd place at the sprint race in Australia to open things off. That's what's got him up near the front of the championship. But apart from Gasly, no one else has really been that consistent. Gasly, of course, 4th in the championship, scoring points in every single race so far. And then Behrman, apart from the Chinese Grand Prix where he got 11th, has scored a point in every single session he has been able to, apart from, of course, pole position points. After a few podiums, actually, podiums in both sprint rounds. He got 3rd in the sprint race in Australia, 3rd in the sprint race in Italy, and then a 3rd the Australian Grand Prix, and then the win last time out in Italy. Hopefully, commentary actually comes through this time. Didn't even work last week, which is quite frustrating. But anyway, Antonelli, your pole sitter, will be getting going shortly for the formation lap, and then we should have a pretty good race in our hands as they get going towards turn 1. Here we go. Let me get the track up, the Wikipedia page, which gives me all the track facts I need. Anyway, so we've got Circuit Ricardo Tormo in Chesti, Valencian community in Spain. FIA Grade 2, I thought it was an FIA Grade 1 to be honest, so I think I got that wrong. I said that sometime, it was FIA Grade 1, apparently it's not, it's Grade 2. Broke ground 1998, opened 19th of September 1999. Major events it currently holds, we've got the Grand Prix Motorcycle Racing, Valencian Community Motorcycle Grand Prix from 1999 to 2023, and then it also is hosting it this year. Unfortunately didn't host it last year because of the floods, but thankfully the circuit is able to host this race today. And we also hosted the European Motorcycle Grand Prix in 2020 when they did 2 races in the same year. TCR World Tours come here this year, GT World Challenge Europe in 2021 to 2023, and then 2025. NASCAR Euro Series 2012 and then 2014 to now. Ferrari Challenge Europe's come to this circuit on and off every other year since 2015, and then used to host once it held the Formula E Valencia E-Prix. Of course, that's the circuit we raced on yesterday for the sprint race. Then FIA Motorsport Games came here last year. TCR Europe came here last year. The Old World Touring Car Cup Race of Spain came here from 2005 to 2012. DTM came here from 2010 to 2012. World Superbikes from 2000 to 2010, and then the Le Mans Series. Just the European Le Mans Series in 2007. Circuit, you've got 4.005 kilometers, 2.488 miles, 14 turns. And the lap record is a 1:21.244 by Andreas Zuber in a Dallara GP2 car, which that lap record has already been beaten in practice and qualifying. Anyway, the cars, one line up on the grid, and let's see how this race ends up. Antonelli on pole, Piastri in second place, can Ocon in fourth, the sprint winner from yesterday, do anything, or George Russell as well, he's looking racy. Behrman championship leader in fifth place. It's lights out, and away they go. Antonelli's got the better launch in front of Piastri. Piastri will have the inside line though. As they go to turn one, it's not really a favourable overtaking opportunity. It's basically a 90-degree fast corner, but Piastri into the lead as they go through the first corner. Into Doohan now, which Mercedes is it going to be? It's going to be Antonelli round the outside of Piastri. Ocon looking to get past Russell as well. The top two are still side by side. Antonelli back into the lead of this race, going through turn 3 and turn 4. He will have the move done, and Russell, as well, getting past Piastri as well. Ocon losing a position to, I think that's Yuki Tsunoda, but a safe start, nice and calm. Piastri down to third, it is Tsunoda in fourth, Behrman in fifth, Ocon's had a poor start, gone from fourth to seventh, Gasly from 10th to 6th, so a good start from the Frenchman, looking to keep his consistent start of the season up. It's Verstappen versus Ocon further back as well. Stroll's doing well, looking to get his first points of the season. Ocon, of course, got his first sprint points of the season yesterday, still yet to score a point in a Grand Prix though. The Frenchman, 8 points this season so far. Verstappen as well, he's not had the best start of the season, only on 5 points currently. It's Ocon versus Gasly, it's the two Frenchmen who were teammates last year, of course, going side by side through turn 13. Turn 14, Gasly a bit off the track there. No, it's Behrman he's getting past, sorry, not Ocon. So Gasly up into 5th now, past his former teammate's teammate, Oliver Behrman. As they're 3 wide going into turn 1. Who's going to take the lead? Is it going to be Verstappen? Is it going to be Behrman? It's going to be Verstappen in front of Behrman in front of Verstappen in front of Gasly. So Gasly now losing a position to Verstappen as they go through Doohan for the second time. Ocon now getting past Gasly as well. I'm sorry we're not really watching the battle for the lead, but nothing much has happened. It's still the same. DRS for this race, by the way, you can use it whenever you want. If you're within a second of the car behind going it through the final corner, you will have DRS for the whole of the next lap. Nice little opportunity you get at this circuit. It should make racing a lot better in my opinion, as they bang wheels to Gasly and Ocon. It is these two against each other now as they go through the flat out section of the track through Martinez. As they go through the next part of this hairpin, and that big crash, Gasly's off into the wall. Gasly's off, the two former teammates collide, and just like they've done multiple times when Ocon was at Alpine, it's Gasly versus Ocon, and it's gone badly for Gasly. He's still going. I don't think he's got any damage despite hitting the Armco barrier, but Gasly on lap 2, his consistent season could be coming to an end. He's down at the back now, as Piastri has been overtaken by Tsunoda now. It's a Mercedes 1-2, and I don't think DRS is quite available yet, so no DRS. No, they haven't got DRS available going down the main straight, but drama at the start here at Valencia. And it's all gone wrong for Pierre Gasly. Through Bernat Martinez, turn 8. Not sure who that's named after. I'm assuming someone called Bernat Martinez. Is my best guess. But wow, what a crazy race. What a crazy start we've had so far. 77 laps. 3 completed so far. Hopefully we can get all 77 laps in, of course. It was 80 laps last week, meant to be 87, but unfortunately because of the slowness of the track, they had to reduce the race distance, just like they used to do at Monaco when F1 used to go there. But there's Piastri trying to make a move on Tsunoda through Jean Mazia. Why is the corner name called Jean Mazia, by the way? Because if I Google Jean Mazia, I don't think he's done much in terms of doing anything. Jean Mazia, Spanish motorcycle racer. He's in he's in the World Supersport Championship. I'm assuming he's from Valencia. Yeah, he's from Valencia. That's probably why they've had the corner named after him. Has he actually won anything? He won Moto3 in 2023. Moto2 he completely flopped. And then Supersport 2025 hasn't really done much. He's won 1 race, but apart from that, where is in the championship? 4th in the championship, but this thing hasn't got Donington Park or Monaco, so I mean we can check through Wikipedia really. Championship standing is currently 3rd. He's not doing awfully this season, but still a bit strange to have someone who hasn't really won much have a corner named after them. But yes, he is a homegrown driver, so that's probably something to do with it. They go through the corner named after João Mazia. Turn 7? Am I right? Turn 11. Don't know where I got turn 7 from. As they go through turn 13 towards turn 14, named after Adrian Campos, the former owner, team principal of the Campos team in Formula 2. And are they in Formula 3? I think they are, yeah. Of course, used to race in Formula 1 in the 1980s, unfortunately no longer with us. If you go on to lap 5, through Aspar, towards Doohan, named not after Jack Doohan, but Australian Mick Doohan, his father, MotoGP legend. And where is Jack Doohan actually currently? Is Gasly, you can see at the top, has just got past Frederick Vestes, who's doing well to catch up. Doohan currently down in 16th place. Just going past the corner named after his father. Alex Palou, Mercedes driver, the wildcard for this weekend. Wildcard's not doing too badly last week. I thought we had Rossi in 9th. Fornaroli I think finished 6th, and then there was also, yeah, Fornaroli 6th, and then Mini unfortunately didn't do too well, but he was doing well until his pit stop being weird. There's Piastri there, you can see at the top, just got past Tsunoda, and Ocon, and Verstappen's now up into the top 4 as well, so Piastri's fallen down a little bit. Behrman down to 7th now. Norris up to 10th, so a good start from him if he wants to try and do anything in terms of closing the gap towards the championship leader, Oliver Behrman. There we go, we can see DRS open now. It's probably just been open for a while, but you haven't really been used. Nothing's noticeable being able to use by it, but it's basically a DRS train now. Whoever's leading through the final corner probably won't be leading by the end of the next lap, but we'll see. George Russell doing well to hold up Antonelli, the man who was doing so well at the Italian Grand Prix, not really dominating. That was going to Oscar Piastri, but unfortunately weird pit lane glitches caused his race to be ruined. It ended up 11 laps down and not even being classified as a finisher. Just like, did he really finish the race? I don't even know if he did or not, to be honest. But as they go through 9, 10, 11, João Mazia corner, it's still Kimi Antonelli who leads George Russell. Of course, Russell hasn't won since his Chinese Grand Prix in 2023. Antonelli's never won a race before, came close in China of this year in only his 3rd Grand Prix start. This is his 6th Grand Prix start, Antonelli. He's already done so well, the rising talent that he is, the Italian. And in 3rd place, Yuki Tsunoda hasn't won since the 2023 Spanish Grand Prix, and he's never got 25 points. That race was shortened due to issues with lighting, but it's Tsunoda versus Antonelli now. That DRS theory that I spoke about just this lap, going through Doohan last lap, has come true. Antonelli down to 3rd place with Russell getting past him, and now the top 2 both have DRS. Tsunoda's going for it. Here comes Esteban Ocon as well, and I feel like we're going to get some good racing action now here. As Antonelli will be a sitting duck with everyone else having DRS, able to easily get past them. And as I was saying, Yuki Tsunoda, can he win where he won 2 years ago and get redemption on Spanish soil? He is the last winner of the Spanish Grand Prix. We didn't even come to this country last year, and Aragon is able to return, of course, because of that lighting issue. The race was never properly run, so we can actually go back to Aragon, but next year it won't be, because we're going to the streets of Valencia, staying in this city, but we're going into the city centre. Antonelli still in 3rd place. It'll be George Russell the sitting duck for the next lap. Gasly up to 19th now, by the way, so doing well to catch back up to the pack. Ooh, off there. Taking a bit too much speed through the corner, but here we go. Is Yuki Tsunoda going to be able to get past George Russell into turn 1? Looks a bit too far back. No move there, but what about through Doohan? He'll have DRS again towards turn 2. Antonelli as well. No, not quite. Ocon doing well as well. Haas have been amazing recently, by the way. Of course, we saw Behrman winning last week, leading the championship. In qualifying as well, Haas have been quite well. Of course, Ocon won the sprint race yesterday, and then just doing well in qualifying. Unfortunately, Ocon had got held up in the pit lane, else he would have scored quite a few amount of points, I think, in Adria. But if that didn't happen, I don't think Behrman would have won, so it's kind of 6 1, half dozen the other. you get some, you're going to have to lose some. But now the only full-time driver yet to score a point is Lance Stroll. So, Lance, it's not been his fault though, in all fairness. Australia, I can't really remember what happened. China, he was running near the front and got taken out. Well, kind of took himself out on the last lap. And then, well, not my lap, but same goes. And then South Africa got held up in the pits. Adria got spun and had some weird pit end issue. It's down the inside here. Goes Yuki Tsunoda on George Russell, and it's Tsunoda into the lead. Can't remember the last time he led a race. He did well at Japan last year at his home Grand Prix. Antonelli trying to get back past his teammate as well. Down the inside into 3. Meant to be a fast lap corner turn 3, but I feel like some people lift. Maybe to try and help the tyres a little bit. We saw a few people pitting towards the end of the sprint race yesterday. Their soft tyres not able to hold on for the full, is it 30 laps? Yeah. Which is probably why Ocon ended up winning, but yeah. But Tsunoda now who leads. Assuming he will be the sitting duck going on to lap 10. Lap 10 already? We've already done 10 laps. I mean, it's not the shortest lap. I mean, it's not the longest lap. They're doing 1 minute 14s. That's what Tsunoda's just done. But if they go towards turn 1, they're not going to be able to get past Tsunoda because it's a Mercedes Civil War. But Antonelli gets hugely held up there. Now it's George Russell's turn to attack the Japanese driver in the Red Bull. Getting the promotion from RB last year. And someone's gone off, I think. Dropping down the order, I think it's just overtaken. Anyway, back to the battle for the lead. It's Russell all over the back of Yuki Tsunoda. Verstappen's got past Antonelli now. We saw that battle kind of brewing going into turn 1. Obviously, got past him into doing. Russell isn't able to overtake Tsunoda, but he'll continue to have DRS for the lap afterwards. Unless he can get past him going through Jaume Zia, which he can't. There's the 2 Haas cars getting involved in a battle with Oscar Piastri further back as well. How's that turning out to go? It's Piastri in front of Behrman. Now the Norris up to 8th place. What a start he's had so far. Up 6 positions already from starting in P14. The 2 Ferraris as well. I didn't even notice Leclerc. He didn't have a good qualifying. After getting pole last week at Adria in front of the Tifosi. Down, I think he was 12th, was he? This race. I didn't really notice it. We will get a replay, by the way, of the second lap incident between Gasly and Ocon. It's just the rating has actually been pretty good so far, so definitely one of the best races so far. I think China was pretty good, but that was weather affected. Adria was meh. South Africa was awful, apart from the final lap, and then Australia, can't really remember that much. Anyway, still Yuki Tsunoda who leads George Russell. Russell, despite the DRS assistant throughout the entire lap, is unable to get past him. Or actually there isn't DRS currently. Russell isn't even using DRS, so that's a bit strange. Not sure why that's happening. No DRS currently. Is he going to open it down the front straight? Yes, he is. So Russell has got DRS. No, he's not opening it. I just saw Verstappen open his though. So why hasn't Russell got DRS that Verstappen has? That's a bit confusing. Strange. Anyway, Verstappen trying to get past George Russell. These two have had their controversial moments throughout the years together. Going through turn 5, is he going to go around the outside? He tries to, does Verstappen. Hasn't won since Vallelunga last year at the Italian Grand Prix. But as they go through De La Affliction and Bernat Martinez, Verstappen down the inside, up into second place. And in the space of a few laps, he's gone from a Mercedes 1-2 to a Red Bull 1-2, as Verstappen now chases down his teammate. Those things, Tsunoda were promoted from the RB last year. It was looking like it was going to be Liam Lawson who was going to get that seat. It ended up being the Japanese driver. Despite Lawson having more wins in the RB than Tsunoda's won, Lawson won 2 races. At Brazil 2023 and then Japan 2022. Actually, he won that race, no, Japan 2024, sorry. He won that race in a Red Bull when replacing Nick de Vries, who was elsewhere. But why is Verstappen now not got DRS? I don't get the DRS in this race, why people aren't using it, even though they can use it. Nothing really happening. No surprise positions, really. Everyone's still as they were, mostly. Scroll down to 11th. Porsche 13th, not doing too bad. Of course, the winner in China, getting his first Grand Prix start. Only got 2 points since then, though. A 10th place in South Africa and a singular point in the sprint race last week. And of course, he didn't even get 25 points from winning that Chinese Grand Prix, because the race got cut short due to the 2-hour time limit being reached, because of how long the circuit was, and it was raining, and we had a few safety cars being out for quite a while, with the 2 Mercedes going at it further back. Not too sure who's in front of who. It is Antonelli now in front of George Russell. So it goes Tsunoda, Verstappen, Antonelli, Russell, and then 5th place, Piastri versus Ocon. Ocon now getting into 5th place. As I don't get what, maybe they're just holding position and Verstappen's deliberately not using DRS, which is a possibility. But immediately the Mercedes have basically got up to the rear of them, so I don't really see the point in that. And also, if I can just point out, basically the top 10, we've got Red Bull, Mercedes, Haas, McLaren, and if Hamilton get past Stroll, Ferrari, which is quite cool to see. It's Albon's ruining it, but come on, Lewis, get past Strovic. He's not that good. Nah, Hamilton's useless. Washed. Hashtag washed. Of course, it wasn't doing that badly actually at Adria before deciding to crash into Ocon on the final lap, despite Ocon being a lap down. He could have taken the 3rd place, but no, he wanted more. Stupid move on Ocon, and I ended up getting a 10 penalty for it, and not even scoring a singular point. Drogovic though on the podium. Like, it's crazy, if you look at the championship standings, like, Behrman 1st, Drogovic 7th, Maloney 8th, Porsche 9th, Doohan 11th, Lawson 10th, and we've got Russell 13th, Antonelli 15th, Verstappen 21st, Tsunoda 16th. Like, a lot of the big hitters quite far back. No Mercedes or Red Bull in the top 10. And we've got an RB driver in 10th. So, I mean, yeah, Lawson's an RB, racing balls, whatever you want to call it. But it's still Tsunoda who leads Verstappen. Red Bull 1-2. Tsunoda trying to get his first win in over 2 years. Verstappen trying to get his first win in just under a year. Hasn't won, speak English please, since that back-to-back win streak he had at the Le Mans Grand Prix and the Italian Grand Prix. We'd love to go back to Le Mans, of course. Unfortunately, rules don't allow that because we've already raced there once, but it was a great race on the Circuit de la Sarthe, and we do go back to a similar circuit, a very long French circuit, which, with Verstappen down inside and his teammate finally decides to make a move on his teammate, and that pushes him wide to Tsunoda, and will let Antonelli get into 2nd place as well. So Tsunoda's gone from 1st to 3rd in 2 corners. It's been stupid, doesn't even work. And I'm assuming Russell will get past him at some point, quite able to though. Either go up through turn 6, sorry, Angel Nieto, towards 7, De La Afición, don't know why it's called that, but it's the flat out left-hander for Bernat Martinez. Who is Bernat Martinez? Let's see, is he a prominent figure in Spain? Bernat Martinez, Spanish motorcycle racer. Oh, it's him. Yeah, unfortunately, I remember hearing about that. The old Motor America driver unfortunately died in a crash at Laguna Seca. I remember seeing that crash. I didn't realise it was him involved. And that tragic day 10 years ago. 10 years and 1 month ago, actually. It was pretty close to the 10-year anniversary of that tragic day at Laguna Seca, which also took the life of Danny Rivas, who I don't think had a corner named after him here. No, he doesn't. Very nice that they named the corner after him. I've missed a whole lap looking at that. And since then, Verstappen... No, Antonelli's now leading. So I'm looking at that. And now Antonelli's taking the lead off Verstappen. And Tsunoda will probably try and get past his teammate who has DRS. Yep, should have got my water with me. Oh well. Who else have we got corners named after? Champi Herreros. Let's see. Motorcycle racer. Who won awards and recognitions. Doesn't really look like he's won much. He did 80cc and 125cc stuff between 1984 and 1991. Doesn't really look like that big of a name, to be honest. Manuel Herreros, apparently called Champi. But that is what turn 12 is named after, the fast right-hander. But still, Antonelli who leads Verstappen. Angel Nieto is the next corner they're going to go through. Who's that named after? Angel Nieto, Spanish motorcycle racer. Born 1947, unfortunately passed August 3rd, 2017, so this looks like an old racer from back in the day. Yes, it is. But this one here is actually Champi Herreros, turn 12, so that's that corner. And of course, Adrian Campos we already know about. Nico Terol, who's that? Nico Terol. Won the 125cc championship in 2011 from Valencia, so probably why it's been named after him. Doesn't look like he really races anymore. No, hasn't raced since Motor E in 2019. He's got a corner named after him. Every time I look up from looking up at who's named after someone, they're at that corner. And Verstappen leads, I've missed that. Tsunoda second, so back to a Red Bull 1-2, but this time it's Verstappen over Tsunoda. The Mercedes in third place, I'm assuming is still Antonelli. We've got a McLaren in fourth place now. Yeah, fourth place now. I'm assuming Piastri. And then, yeah. I mean, I assume, I can literally just check. Doohan down to 23rd, so something's happened to him. Yeah, Antonelli third. Yeah, let's have a look what's happened to Doohan, because he is right at the back, and he wasn't earlier, so either something's happened, or he's just lost a few positions. He's right at the back, let's see. He was quite far back, so maybe involved in an incident quite a while ago. Here's something, let's see. Go into the final corner, and they all check up, and his teammate comes smashing into the rear of him. The golden rule has been broken, Alpine. You're not meant to crash into your teammate. That was actually a few laps ago. Could you blame Gasly? I mean, they all just check up each other. They all do the same thing. It's just Gasly that comes in like a bull in a china shop. Let's go on board with the Frenchman. He's already been involved in one incident this race. Could he get a penalty for this? I mean, they're all doing it. They're all at it. I don't think he'd get a penalty for that. And let's see anyway what happened on the second lap. Here we go. Seen this replay now. So he's going round the outside of Ocon. Through Bernard Martinez and just loses the car, but we know there was contact between the two. So let's see on board of Ocon. Yeah, I mean, Gasly kind of left him no room there. I'm being completely honest. I think that's on Gasly, unfortunately, so I'm assuming that's why Ocon hasn't got a penalty after like 20 laps. Gasly just leaves him no room. I'm gonna get back live. Almost there. There we go. 6th place is Ocon. Gasly is up to 12th now, so doing a decent recovery drive. Sorry about that. Antonelli still leading. Under investigation was Doohan and Gasly for causing a collision. That has now been cleared, so no penalty there. Antonelli has quite the lead over Yuki Tsunoda. Verstappen in 3rd with DRS on his teammate. Tsunoda hasn't even got DRS. That's how far back and far ahead Antonelli is. I'm assuming that gap will be closed down once Verstappen is able to get past Tsunoda. So I don't see Tsunoda catching up to Antonelli unless he got DRS. But you never know. Remember, Antonelli needs to be careful on his tyres as well. Lap 22 of 77, 55 to go. To go through De La Afición. We haven't seen that name yet. De La Afición. What's that named after? I'm assuming it's not a person. De La Afición. Valencia. Just looks like something to do with like a place in Valencia, I think. Then Aspar, what's that? Doesn't look like much. There is a circuit in Valencia called the Aspar circuit, which I think is a kart track. Oh, Jorge Martinez Aspar. So maybe it's this guy whose nickname is Aspar. To do with that. It's an autocross circuit. FIA Grade 6A reopened this year. And yeah, hosted the karting proportion of the FIA Motorsport Games. So that is that. But still, Antonelli leading. Tsunoda has kind of closed the gap on Antonelli, so not too bad from him. Despite not having DRS, is able to do it, and probably will have DRS sooner rather than later. And now look, less than a second, yeah. So Tsunoda's done well to catch up, and I'm assuming Antonelli's lead won't be lasting very long. If we go off the theme of this race. I think the circuit is a lot better than yesterday's layout. Of course, we have that weird sharp corner at turn 7, and there we go. Tsunoda's trying to get past Antonelli through the final corner, and in after DRS, so will Verstappen. It'll be tasty going to turn 1. Verstappen tries to make a move, but his teammate covers it off to try and make a move on Antonelli, and they're both going to get past him into turn 1. Verstappen, is he going to send it on his teammate? No, he's not. Tsunoda leads, Verstappen in second, and straight away Lando Norris down the inside on Antonelli. There's a Haas car trying to get past Piastri, and Antonelli's on from 1st to about 6th place in the space of 3 corners. 4th place, never mind. Ocon and Piastri not able to get past just yet. But this race is really turning into a Moto3 race at this circuit. It's seen some decent races in that category in its time. Ocon's yesterday's sprint run are doing well in 5th place. Behrman down to 10th now. Gasly up to 13th. We've got a bit of a gap though between, is it Hamilton? No, it's between Marty and Hamilton. A little bit of a gap there. Gasly's got the wildcard driver in front of him, of Pepe Marty. And Gasly's going slowly. Gasly's got a problem. Has he got a problem? As Drogovic gets past him, he swoops right back past around the outside. So I thought Gasly might have had an issue there, as almost thought he was spinning the car there. But Gasly seemed to be slowing there, coming out towards Champi Herreros. As Drogovic swoops back past him with DRS. Which Gasly doesn't have, so he'll struggle to make this regain this move. I'm surprised Maloney's so far back, by the way. He's been disappointing today after a second place last time out. Of course, that was gifted to him by this weird pit incident, which caused most of the front runners to not do well. Anyway, still Verstappen, who leads Tsunoda. Norris up into 3rd place. Starting 14th, he's doing quite well to make it up. Antonelli 5th, Ocon still... No, Antonelli 4th, Ocon still 5th. Piastri 6th. And it's as you were, really, on lap 25 of 77. If they go up the hill, through flat out turn 13, turn 14. I'd say this is the first proper race I've been to so far this year. Proper, wide enough, decent enough corners. I mean, it is built for motorcycles, and I've always said the circuits that are built for motorcycles tend to be the best race circuits for Formula 1 to drive, at least. I mean, you've seen Qatar in 2021, Cotahold MotoGP, else is there, Silverstone. I know they're built for F1, not MotoGP, but like Aragon as well. We've got other circuits, Chang, Kimi Ring. I've never raced there before. What else have we got? I'm trying to think of motorbike MotoGP circuits. Satch I remember going to later on in the year. Jerez. I haven't been there before, but that's a good one. There are definitely more that will come up to me at the top of my head. For Kids Freeway, I mean, that was a shocking race. I don't say for Kids Freeway. Do not make me laugh. But yeah, some decent circuits. And then of course in 2 weeks time we have Mosport, which I think Mosport will be a good race. I like Mosport. Of course, hosted F1 races before. Anyway, lap 26 of 77. I'm going to go for a quick break. Lap 27, sorry, of 77. 50 laps to go. Snow down the inside of Verstappen. And I'll let you see Verstappen plummet down the field. And welcome back to Ricardo Tormo. There we go, finally got the circuit name. While we were gone, we saw one of the McLarens getting past Verstappen. Verstappen's down in front of all them, still down in 4th place. So, yeah, Ocon doing well. Up into 4th now, through Championeros, round the outside. Verstappen going to try and hold on. Ocon unable to make the move on the 2-time world champion. Ocon still going to fight though. A pretty big gap between Antonelli and Verstappen. Verstappen hasn't actually got DRS, so that battle between Ocon and Verstappen has not helped Ocon. Maybe it was tactical to let Verstappen pass to make him lose DRS and then get the position on him. Norris down inside now on Ocon. He'll make the move. Good move there. Around the outside, up into 3rd place now. And the man that hasn't scored a single point before yesterday, looking like he's going to bag a few after 8 points from the sprint win yesterday. Anyone else doing well? Gasly's losing a few positions. I think Gasly might have some sort of car issue because we've seen him losing time a few times this race now. I'll see if I can find anything out to do with that. Ocon up to 2nd now, by the way. So, Antonelli falling off a little bit. Still Tsunoda who leads. 30 of 77. We'll see pit stops, I'd say around lap 40. Normally they go just over halfway on hards and then do softs, then do 2 more stops on softs. I don't get why medium tyres exist, but medium tyres in this are about as useful as full wet tyres. No, they don't use them either. They just go intermediates, whatever the weather. We saw that at China, even though Colapinto clearly proved wets were faster at one point. They just stayed in inters. Don't know why, but yeah. Anyway, Tsunoda leads Ocon, leads Antonelli, who leads Lando Norris. Esteban Ocon trying to get his first win since India last year. His first Grand Prix win in Haas colours. 1 week on from his teammate doing the same thing at Adria and winning the race. It is looking like Haas will make their first wildcard driver next week. Not too sure who it will be yet. They've teased it a little bit. They're saying it's a Canadian driver, which what Canadian drivers are there? It can't be definitely Francesco because he's racing at Nashville. It can't be Nicholas Latifi because he's not allowed. He's formerly raced full time in F1, and I can't really think of anyone else. Like, what other Canadian drivers are there? There's Roman DeAngelis from IMSA WEC, who races for Aston Martin in WEC. But you'd think if it was him, he'd be racing for Aston Martin. But yeah, I mean, Aston Martin using their first wildcard today with Mario Boyer, who is underperforming, and I mean, am I surprised? No, I'm not. He's an F3 driver. I'm surprised they took the risk, to be honest. As down the inside goes Norris on. Actually, no, because Anthony stays in front. Ocon actually leads currently, by the way. They could have actually used Jack Crawford, you know, because he'd only done 2 races, and they changed the rules midweek so that a driver, if they've done 2 races, they still can be wildcard, but if they've done 3 or more, they can't wildcard, which is actually why Colapinto is trying to get Williams to not run him in the Belgian Grand Prix as a Vesti replacement, because he wants to wildcard at his home Grand Prix for Williams, which makes sense, I guess. But yeah, I'm sure they'll work it out closer to the race. Wildcards get announced the Monday before the Grand Prix, so they'd have to probably submit it by, I'd say, Saturday. But or the Saturday of the Grand Prix, the week before. And I'm trying to think, what Canadians are there? Robert Wickens, James Hinchcliffe. I mean, Hinchcliffe's quite into F1. He does F1 TV, but I think it will be Robert Wickens, but I'll have to see if I'm right. And then basically confirmed with a few. Well, I mean, one of them basically confirmed one turns out to not be true, because Pathway Award apparently was wildcarding at Mid-Ohio, and now it looks like that would be Colton Herta from McLaren. Of course, not a McLaren driver, but has tested for them before, and then SVG basically confirmed to be racing at his own Grand Prix at New Zealand. That's probably why the rule got changed, to do with two races being run. He has done two Grand Prix 2 years ago, so he wouldn't have been able to do it before the rules got changed. But the rules got changed, which is also why Colapinto is able to race in Argentina. But anyway, that's it really, nothing else to do with wildcards, apart from Conor Zilic basically confirming he will not be wildcarding this year. But yeah, Conor Zilic confirming that he will not be wildcarding this year, wanting to focus on winning the Xfinity Championship, which is fair enough. As Ocon still in the lead, trying to stay in front of Antonelli. This top four, it's been like this for a few laps now. As we're closing in on the pit window, not long to go now at all, about 5 or 6 laps until they start to come in. We will see what happens in terms of next year wildcards. There are a few names being linked. We've got Scott Dixon, who else is there? Christian Mansell. Of course, Mansell probably would have been a favourite to wildcard at this year's Australian Grand Prix. I mean Sydney Super Night, but unfortunately is not racing this year, so was unable to be used as Mercedes of Antonelli past Ocon. Ocon will be the sitting duck now without the DRS, and he will now lose a few positions as the McLaren of Norris tries to get past him round the outside. He is going to make it done through turn 4, and up in second place Marty losing a few positions down to 16th now, doing somewhere to claw up to 17th. Chloe in 15th place. I'm getting news that the reason Gasly keeps slowing is because his pit limiter is randomly turning on, which is incredibly frustrating for him and his team. Of course, having an incident with Ocon on lap 2. Lap 35 of 77, almost halfway done now. I mean, you've got a little bit to go before halfway, a few laps still. Oh, someone wide there. I think that was Pierre Gasly. He was looking racy. 3 wide in front, making it 3 wide there. Hamilton and Stroll. Hamilton down to 13th, Stroll down to 14th. Gasly with a brilliant move there, up into 11th place now. Next up to him is Liam Lawson. A little bit of a gap though before that. Has got DRS though. Still Antonelli leads Tsunoda, who has DRS. We'll see coming out this corner is Yuki Tsunoda. So Tsunoda chasing down the Italian. Oscar Piastri hot on their heels. Currently Piastri is making a good gain on Behrman. Behrman will still lead the championship as it stands if it finishes like this, but the gap will be a lot closer than the 28 points it was coming into this weekend. Of course, it's even closer now because after the sprint, but I haven't added the sprint points up yet, so I'm not too sure. I think it's 21 points, if I'm correct, because Behrman crashed out, spun out, and Tsunoda into the back of Antonelli there as he swooped around the outside, and he'll have DRS as well, so Antonelli really bad off there. Tsunoda playing it smart. He'll have DRS, so will Oscar Piastri. He will send it down inside to turn 1 into Aspar. Bit of a wobble though, that could invite Antonelli to get it into Doohan, but I don't think he will. He'll try around the outside, it's not going to work out, and Piastri up into second place now, the best he has run all race long. The former championship leader before last week. course, only finished 1 Grand Prix in the points, looking to up that to 2 races. 5. I mean, it's surprising that you can be second in the championship, despite only finishing in the points in 1 race. 12th in Australia, 13th in China, 1st in South Africa, and 18th in Adria. Of course, again, not really his fault. I can't remember what happened. I can't remember what happened in Australia. China, I mean, it was his fault. He drove into like a Colapinto. 1, of course, in South Africa. Then Adria held up in the pit lane. If it wasn't for that, he probably would have won the race. So, unfortunate for the Australian. In his 3rd year in Formula 1. And Gasly wide again through the final corner. Does this man at no track limits? Piastri now leads the race. He gets past Yuki Tsunoda. Of course, oh no, he doesn't, apparently, because he'll get into duo no. Yes, he does. Piastri into the lead. Tsunoda second. How was Gasly doing? A bit of a contact there, I think. Gasly into 11th. Was there contact there between him and Hamilton? I don't think so. That was there. He just got rear-ended by the Ferrari driver. I don't know why I thought it was contact. Gasly is actually under investigation though for causing a collision with Hamilton, as I am way too far in front. Bit trigger happy on the fast forwards, apparently. There we go. Black 5 now. Gasly 11th. Piastri still leading. Ocon into 3rd. I found my drink. There we go. I'm looking on the Wikipedia key. I wonder if anyone's ever been labelled as a did not practice or a did not arrive. Because I've never seen that before. I'll have a look. I'll give a quick Google. Did not practice F1. What did not arrive? Yeah, nothing, don't mind anything. Anyway, Piastri leads Tsunoda. Could see pit stops around now. But not quite. None yet. Boyer down at last now. I'm not surprised about that in one bit. As Tsunoda dive down inside, we've seen a lot of big lunges into turn 1. And it's really been putting off the overtaking driver, who then loses another position, just like Piastri has, down to 3rd. Now Ocon gets past him. And George Russell as well down the inside. He's now into 4th, and Piastri is dropping like flies. Is that even a saying, dropping like flies? I can't even remember, to be honest. Here we go, 5-second time penalty for Pierre Gasly for causing a collision with Hamilton. So I've not got a clue when that happened, but apparently it did happen. So that is a shame for him. We'll get a replay of that at some point. But not yet, because something tells me we'll be seeing pit stops any second now. Or any lap now, I should say. There's someone kicked up gravel there. Was that Antonelli? I think it was. Of George Russell, sorry. In the Mercedes, as Piastri is getting past him. Around the outside, is it going to work? No, it's not. Still no pit stops though, but we'll get the replay of why Gasly got a penalty once we've seen pit stops, which I'm assuming he'll serve it in. So there we go, Piastri down inside, contact there, someone needs a front wing. And then he got front wing damage, I think, yeah, and then he lost his front wing. Contact to turn 1, and just like last week where his race got ruined, it's been ruined again, and then he has no front wing. And that is a huge shame for the Italian. down to 8th place now. Did he run into the back of his teammate? I didn't even notice or see who he ran into the back of. I just heard contact and then a crash. And 3 wide, all that almost didn't end well. Gasly getting held up as well by the Italian. And Antonelli dropping down the order. Huge shame. But we have pit stops to see. We'll get a replay once the pit stops have been completed. And still nothing. Okay, I'm not surprised there. 41 laps on these hard tyres, lasting long. As we go towards turn 1, Hamilton in 9th now. Gasly in 11th, of course, has the 5-second time penalty. And has got that pit speed limiter issue, which I don't think has been fixed, so... Well, I mean, it's not going to be fixed, is it? They'll have to sort something out, but... Tsunoda still leading, still trying to get that first win since the Spanish Grand Prix 2 years ago. What is it with him on Spanish soil? Seems to turn out quite well. Let's see, are we now going to see pit stops? Oh, I thought we were then, but 42 laps on these tyres. Well over half of this race done on these tyres. Now it's them and, Ocon trying to get past Tsunoda. Tsunoda goes off track though, and yes, he will have to let the position go on Ocon. I think he would like to get it done on Russell as well, but he's going to make the move. And Russell up into 2nd, Tsunoda down to 3rd. And Tsunoda down to 4th now as well. Now Russell versus Ocon going into turn 1. Who is going to get the move? I'm assuming it'll be Russell. Russell into the lead now. I mean, we could get a replay of what happened between Ocon and Thingy, but Gasly down to 12th now. I mean, not, did I say Ocon? I meant Antonelli. I'm assuming he is right at the back of the pack. Now, Doohan is right at the back. He maybe has some sort of issue as well. Already have one issue, is Doohan. Oh, what's going on here? Gasly is going slowly again. What have we missed? Let's see what happened. Hamilton going slowly. Round the outside through Jean Mazier, and he just went wide. Trying to not run into the back of someone, I'm guessing. But no harm done there. As we go back live, still no one pissing. Yeah, I'm surprised they aren't staying out. They're doing very well on these tyres. Tyre whisperers maybe for once. Oh, someone into the pits there. Who was that? It is a Red Bull of, I think, Max Verstappen, was it? There's a few coming in. Verstappen's in. Who else came in? Verstappen in and out very easily with the Williams. I think that is Alex Albon. The other car into the pit. Yes, it was. So the two former teammates at Red Bull coming in on lap 46. And why did the camera shake there? No one crashed, so that was strange. Anyway, now we're going to see people coming in following them at the end of this lap. It's Ocon who leads. George Russell finally worked out who it was in second place. And Piastri in third. Behrman fourth. Snowder fifth. Not sure who gave Haas this much confidence, but Apex GP. Anyway, are we going to see pit stops? Let's see. Yes, we are. Finally, Ocon in, Russell in, Snowder in, Ferrari in, someone else in. Let's see where they come out. Are they going to be in front of Verstappen? Let's see, where is Verstappen actually? Here he is. Let's see, where did he come out? Pitted a lap before everyone else. Comes out ahead of everyone else. And there's people that are already out of the pits. No, he's not. He's well ahead of everyone. No, I mean, only just ahead of everyone. Albon as well. He's pushed himself up into this battle, and it was pitting a lap early. He just helped all them, and that is that going to disadvantage all everyone in this group. The whole top 12, really, or top 13. Might disadvantage them. Let's see what happens. Will they come out ahead of Verstappen? Well, I mean, both McLarens are still going. I'm assuming they won't double stack. Let's see. And no, they all stay out. So, not pitting this lap. An extra lap on the tyres for them. So let's see where they pit at the end of this lap. Gasly's actually doing pretty well now. He's right up the front of the pack, of course. He's had a lot of people, not with many more, who have already pitted. But Gasly up to 4th place. And is he going to come out and around these? Like, let's see if he has got the 5-second penalty to serve when he does pit. But they stay out another lap. And all this is just given time the people on the fresh softs to catch up. You can see how close they are already. If that is the pack, I don't think it is. I think that's the stragglers. Where is Verstappen? Just going down the front straight now. They're already in front of Mari Boyer. That's a shame. The Spaniard. Maybe. I mean, it's always who's that cut off? There's a Ferrari off there. A huge crash. That's a Sauber with no front wing. And a Ferrari possibly out of this race. What happened there? I think that's Pierre Portier with no front wing. And Hamilton. Was it Hamilton? It was Hamilton off. He's still going. But with no rear wing. Lewis Hamilton now out of this race. Or any sort of contention as well. What on earth happened to him? We won't get a replay yet. Because I'm not doing any replays. We'll have a big batch of replays once this group's pitted. This front group. 50 laps they've done on hards almost. But now Hamilton, with basically a pretty damaged car, and Teo Porcher also. And here we go, finally coming in, do the top 4. Gasly a bit slow in. Did they crash then? Did they really just crash? Did I hear that correctly? I don't think so, no. As there's no end plate damage there. Actually, it's all getting held up. Gasly serving his penalty, so he's taking a bit longer. Williams stuck in there, and the Williams has basically allowed Gasly a free serve of that penalty and to jump Norris. The McLaren's double stacked. That didn't help them either. Look how many cars are in the pits this lap. And they're actually coming out ahead of Verstappen. No, Verstappen came in again. Why has he done that? Verstappen pitted again. So the time he gained from pitting early is completely gone. Because he's coming into the pits again. That is so strange. And leading this race, the man who broke his front wing, Kimi Antonelli. So, AKA leads this race despite being nowhere near the pace with a broken front wing. So I think now we can get replays. I mean, let's just settle everything, make sure everything's all sorted. Marcy up to 8th. I mean, that whole group that pitted later on has just been massively disadvantaged. Hamilton's now coming out of the pits with all that damage. I don't know what happened to Drogovic. Porsche we saw with damage. Ocon down to 20th. I don't know what happened to him. But he's had issues possibly. And you can see he hasn't got a front wing end plate. Anyway, replay number 1, Kimi Antonelli. How did he break his front wing then? Who did he run into the back with? Don't tell me his own teammate. There was Piastri, he's got checked up by his teammates. So Russell kind of disadvantaging Antonelli there. And that is where Antonelli's front wing went. Big shame for the Italian. Next replay is Gasly on Hamilton. So why did Gasly get this penalty then? Let's see. Is it here? They are pretty close to each other. No, we've already seen that. That was before the penalty was given. Is it here? He's in front of Hamilton at the moment. It must have been ages ago. Maybe it was here. No, he's down in front of Hamilton. What about here? That might have been the same lap actually. What about here? Let's see. It was at turn 2, I'm being told. And no, I'll give up looking because I'm not going to find it, I don't think. Anyway, Porsche and Hamilton. What happened between these two? On board. Ages ago, 20 laps ago now. Am I a little bit far off? So he comes in here. He's already lost his front wing there, but thankfully he's able to change it in the pits, so that's not an issue. And then, what happens here? Nope, maybe it was the lap before. We should check what lap it was on, shouldn't I? But here? No. It was Porcher, wasn't it? It wasn't Maloney. Here we go. Oof. Oh, it's a big hit. It was Maloney. I don't know why Porcher came into the pits and Maloney didn't. So what happened to Hamilton then? That's not Hamilton. Here we go. So what happened to him was a pretty big hit. So down the inside on Lawson, to spins the car. A weird incident from Hamilton. Then reversed into the gravel and rejoined incredibly unsafely. What a words fail me. That's not. That's the 7-time world champion. Washed, I say, washed. We're not quite live. Hamilton is a lap down now, quite far back. So Stroll second. How have we got here then? Anyway, Tsunoda. I'm Stroll first. How have we got here then? Stroll lead. No, never mind. Oh yeah, the Stroll does lead from Tsunoda. And that is George Russell. Ferrari's back near the front. Unfortunately, one of them's a lap down. Gasly up into 8th place. Norris 9th. We have no clue why Gasly got his penalty, but apparently he hit Hamilton and doing is what I'm being told. But I don't know what lap it was. So, oh well. Anyone like lose a lot of time in that pit sequence? Apart from Hamilton, one team must have put out a pit again. Ocon down in 17th, Behrman 14th, Piastri 11th, Verstappen 10th, Norris 9th. Only has now pitted, he's right at the back. Sainz as well, quite far back. Albon, but Stroll is who leads from George Russell. I'm assuming Russell will get back past the Canadian. He's got his home race in 2 weeks' time. But anyway, lap 55, I'll be back at the end of this lap, so I'll see you then. Hello and welcome back to Ricardo Tormo. Almost got the name of the circuit then. With 20-ish laps to go. It's Russell who leads Stroll, who leads Tsunoda. None of these have won a race in 2023. So, I mean, way to spice things up, eh? Getting bored of the old Leclerc, Norris, Piastri winnings, aren't we? Yes, we are. So, Leclerc is in 4th place. You can say right away from this battle. That won't happen, though. I mean, out of the top 10, how many have won since 2023? Leclerc won, Norris won, Piastri won. So, out of the top 8, only one of them have won in 2023. Imagine if a wildcard driver wins, that'd be crazy. Marty 8th, Plo 14th, Boyer 16th. I'm surprised Plo has been so slow, to be honest. Like, in a decent car, with both of their drivers being running near the front the entire race. One of them got pole. I mean, he's used to an Indy car, he's used to ovals, he's used to push to pass, he's used to all this sorts of things. Zooming outside my commentary box. And then what else was there? Polo, he has driven an F1 car before. It's not like he's never done it before, but I mean, I guess when he did do practice sessions for McLaren, he wasn't really near the front, was he? Anyway, nice to see him in F1 though. Hopefully he'll get another chance one day. Marry Boyer, imagine if Boyer wins. No, let's stop being unrealistic. Reese is kind of dying down a bit. I wish blue flag came back, because why is Hamilton just holding his teammate up? It's so weird. Like, we saw it with Ocon last time out, messing up your teammate. Like your teammate, who better is Stroll down inside of Tsunoda. He's got DRS as well, so I'm surprised. Tsunoda must have made a mistake or something. Now he's got Hamilton right up his rear end. But Hamilton isn't going to make the move. The two Alpines pretty close to each other as well, because we've already seen them come together once this race. Going through the final corner, after a massive check-up, ended up facing the wrong way. And Gasly's front wing surprisingly in one piece after that. Which is a bit of a surprise. But anyway, Stroll down inside on Russell. Stroll into the lead of the race now. Russell fights back immediately. Stroll off the outside line though, and he'll get the move done. Russell has to back out. And now Tsunoda down inside on Stroll. Antonelli's got in front of Leclerc at some point as well, so he's up to 4th place now. We've still got Hamilton in this battle as well. A lap down as Alpine, one of them I think it was Doohan, almost went off there. And now down to 7th place. His teammates down in front of him. And Gasly tries to get past Charles Leclerc. The two good friends. Gasly decides to back out for now and let Leclerc stay in front of him for a little bit longer. Not long now at all left in this race. 59 of 77. And we're back in 2 weekends time for Stroll's home race, the Canadian Grand Prix at Mosport. What a circuit that is. A lot of fast corners, not really many braking zones to be honest, if I look at Mosport. Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, I think is its official name. Yeah. Used to be called Mosport, but I like calling it Mosport because that's what I know it as. Apparently Mosport is a portmanteau of motorsport, a blend word. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, turn 1 looks quick, 2 is quick, 3 quick, 4 quick, 5 slow, 6 and 7 aren't even a corner, 8 looks quick, 9 looks quickish, and then 10's slowish. Grade 2, so the exact same grade as this circuit, so maybe you can have a race as good as this one. I think the bend was grade 2 as well, so that wasn't actually a bad race in all fairness, just an early rise for me and any other British people watching. I mean Europeans as well, still 6:30 is pretty early. Americans have it 1:30, no, midnight, yeah. Unless you're not on the west coast, east coast, sorry. It's still Stroll, who leads Tsunoda. Hamilton now getting past Tsunoda as well. Can you just go away please, Lewis? You're a lap down, jog on. It's Stroll who leads Hamilton. No, he's get it right at least. It's a long race. It's not really that long. It's been quite quick compared to other races we've had recently. Probably one of the cleanest races we've had this year. No DNF so far. We had a few incidences, but like Australia was mostly clean apart from Bortoletto's crash. We had China was not clean. Albon, South Africa we had the big crash from Albon. in the closing stages, and then Italy, we have the weird pit lane issues. Stroll currently way in front of this race, and Nelly in second. I'm sure this group will catch up as Gasly trying to make a move on someone as well. Two Alpines pretty close to each other, doing a very good season so far. Got to give them credit, everyone wrote him off right at the start, but a best result of 4th in South Africa, as well as a few more points, to put him on 19 points and 11th place in the championship. So, I mean, it's not been that bad. You've got to give it to him. There have been worse drivers out there. I think anyone's actually been that bad this season apart from Lance. No, I can't even say Stroll's been bad. I think the worst driver of the season has been Ocon. But he only had really a bad first 3 races where he was nowhere, and then qualified well in Adria. Ended up getting held up in the pits, and then of course won the sprint race yesterday, so he's not even on 0 points. I'm just reading off the championship from Adria. Hamilton finally away from everyone, holding Stroll up. Stroll now loses the position to Antonelli, who was going for his first win in Formula 1, the pole sitter. He was kind of robbed last week, if you think about it. It wasn't for Franco Colapinto, basically bumped Rapping Portier down the main straight, and China could have won that race as well. So, he's had his chances to win. Is it finally going to come here at Riccardo Tormo? Or is Lance Stroll going to have something to say about that? Or Yuki Tsunoda as well? Stroll has won recently. He won the Californian Grand Prix of last year at Laguna Seca, which basically gave him a drive this year. Probably going to be dropped, but had a very strong finish, and ended up, I think, 3rd in the championship. So, not bad from him. It was 3rd or 4th, I can't remember. People who have been very strong, and like no one's really spoken about it, is Pierre Gasly. Hasn't finished outside the points this season. Finished, I think, 4th or 3rd in the championship last year. Has strolled back into the lead. Bit of contact actually between the two. Now it's going to get Tsunoda in front of him as well. And Pierre Gasly, speak of the devil, almost up into the podium positions, but unable to quite yet. And Delhi fights back actually, and he'll stay in P2. A great fight back that from Antonelli to stay in front of those two. As Gasly tries to get past Tsunoda as well, it's not going to work out though. Another thing about Gasly, of course, 4 wins in 2023, which put him, I think, 4th was it in the championship? I can't remember, but he's been up near the front of the championship quite often. And currently 4th in this year's one. I haven't got a podium yet this year, but quite a dark horse. Without really doing much. Has done quite well. Anyway. I think Hamilton's driven off into the distance now. Yes, he has. He's way ahead. Back marker, of course, only that far back. He was involved in an incident with a few drivers after spinning at turn 1, getting past, like, was it Lawson or Marty? I'm not too sure. It was one of them. I mean, it was his own fault. Spun, overtaking them. It wasn't even contact, he just spun on his own, which is really weird. With Antonelli back past Stroll now, he's down to 2nd place. Tries to fight back though, is he going to make it work? He does make it work. Gasly drives right into the back of Tsunoda there. Somehow still got a front wing intact, but then loses a few positions on Ross and his teammate. Stroll is in positions as well. Lance Stroll being Lance Stroll and forgetting how to drive for a minute there. Or maybe Lance Stroll, remembering he was Lance Stroll and not Nicholas. Comparison, is it? Jules Villeneuve, probably a better comparison there. But down to 5th place now is Lance Stroll. Antonelli first. Also, I just want to point out, Maloney's yet to finish a race outside the points, down in 22nd place. He's finished every single Grand Prix started inside the points, so this could be a first for him, down in 22nd. But it's still Antonelli who leads, from Yuki Tsunoda, from George Russell. Neither of these three actually are currently in the top 10 of the standings. Russell has had a average season. Adnelli's been poor apart from China, and Snow's been poor apart from South Africa. I mean, he did get a 5th place in Italy, to be fair, so... Yeah. And he could have won in Italy if he didn't end up spinning out. And oh, it's a spin there from Gasly. Speaking of spinning out, Gasly's round. He kept going though, but driven into the back of Antonelli there. What was that all about? From the Frenchman. Hang on, let's pause it. I've gone bored of him. Let's see what happened there. Just Antonelli stops in the middle of the corner there. It's very strange from the Italian. Just stops. I mean, no one's really been taking that corner flat out. You can take it flat out, but people have been lifting to try and save tyre wear, and I feel like people would want to save tyre wear considering we're in the final 10 laps now of this race. As Gasly's trying to drive into the pit wall apparently, as Russell goes into the lead past Tsunoda. And Antonelli as well makes it a Mercedes 1-2. And Stroll also passed Tsunoda. Norris passed that Jack Doohan, yes it is. Gasly just behind, despite that spin, not losing too much time. Championship leader Oliver Bearman in 10th place. I don't think he'll care that much. Of course, he does want to do well, but apart from Norris in 5th place, is down to 11th now, by the way, because Martin got past him. But despite Norris being in 5th place, his main championship rival Piastri is right behind him, so it's not too much of an issue for him. But not long now at all in the closing days of this race. As into the pits there is one of the Mercedes drivers. Which one's that? Sorry, which one's that? I didn't see. I think it was the one in 2nd. We'll see who it was once the timing thing at the top goes round to see who's in the lead. We'll see the process of elimination. No, it isn't. Lawson down to 22nd, by the way. It's Antonelli who pitted, so I'm not surprised there, to be honest. He did pit a lot earlier than these lot after having to come in to repair his front wing. So does that mean in a few laps time we will see other people coming in? And that could be what that means. Which means the soft tyres aren't gonna last as long as they want. And it proves again, why not run the mediums? They exist, use them. I don't understand. Anyway, that's Antonelli's race basically run then, unfortunately. Unless everyone else has to pit again, we will see. As it's still Russell who leads. I'm going to go for a quick break and we'll see you at the end of this lap. Welcome back to Ricardo Tormo, where we are on lap 70 of 77 into the closing stages of this race now. We're not sure if they will have to pit again or not. We've seen Antonelli pitting, and Jack Doohan as well are pitted while I was gone. So Antonelli in 19th, Doohan in 21st. Of course, Doohan pitted just after Antonelli. I'm not too sure why, but that was in the just before the first stage of pit stop, so we could see these lot pitting sooner or later. But it's currently snowed up as... What is Gasly turned into Kvyat? Some sort of torpedo? Because... yeah, okay. Yeah, as I was saying, this group we could see these lot pitting. But if it doesn't, Snowder, I mean, you can't really say Snowder's looking strong because they'll catch up with DRS, they'll overtake him. So, I mean, Snowder's got DRS currently. Actually, I think it's Stroll hasn't got DRS. So Snowder will be looking strong. He'll try and create a gap. The Stroll can't catch up. But I mean, having DRS, it means you're getting to the corners quicker. It means you have to or at a higher speed, which it means you have to brake earlier anyway. So it depends really. Obviously, on the longer straights, DRS is going to give you more time, but is it going to help you that much with the shorter bits? I'm not too sure. Anyway, the gaps are actually pretty close. It'll be Stroll with DRS. Is Stroll going to get past Snowder into turn 1? Let's see. No, he's not. Okay. Nothing to do in either. Just Russell going a little bit wide. That could invite Lando Norris down the inside. Yeah, you know, he can move there, but not quite. And he does actually into four. And through 5, we can't quite see that battle going on, but it's finished anyway, so who cares? There's a good scrap going on behind though. The Stroll stays right on Yuki Tsunoda's rear end. So if I was Stroll, I'd just keep behind him. If you're that close going through the final corner, you could just get him into turn 1. So I think that's what he will do. Is they go through Champi Herreros. 72 of 77, about 5 laps to go now. Let's see what happens. Do we see pit stops? Yes, we do. Snowder in, Stroll in, Leclerc in. So the 3 cars, and Stroll's right into the back of Snowder as well. So now he'll have to replace his front wing in this pit stop, and it goes from bad to worse really for this Canadian. Let's see where he comes out. He'll be behind Snowder, behind Leclerc, and losing a bit of time because of that misjudged brake here. But now it's Lando Norris who leads, the man who won the opening race of the season. And just like last year when he also won the opening race of the season, hasn't won since. So we're going to see Norris win the Sydney Super Night. He won the last race of last season as well. But it's Norris who leads Verstappen, who's in second place now. I mean third place, George Russell. Behrman 4th, good for him with Piastri down in 7th place. Vesti in 6th, not too bad from him as well. He's been a bit of an underdog this year. I mean, a 2nd and then the 13th and the 14th. Yeah, let's see. We've already seen 3 cars come in. Are we going to see this group come in next? 73 of 77. You can see Gasly just behind. Let's see. No, Russell comes in. So George Russell, he comes in. That will promote everyone behind him up a place. But it's still Norris who leads, but Verstappen will try one into the inside, down the inside into turn 1, and he makes the move work on the 74 of 77. That could have been the race-winning move. It's Behrman down inside to Norris as well, but it's Norris without the DRS, so I'm not surprised this is happening. Behrman, he'll have the inside line. It's not going to work though, as it's Norris now into second place. I mean, still in second place. I need to think of what I say. I do that all the time. I say something and don't think it's a stupidity. Anyway, Sainz versus Ocon's a battle further back, with Drogovic getting involved as well. Boy's in 7th, by the way. I'm sure he'll probably end up pitting, but not bad from the debutant, the wildcard, the Spaniard, the Aston Martin driver, the Aston Martin Academy driver. Yeah, free driver. But let's see. Surely if everyone else is having to pit, these lot will have to pit at some point. And no, they stay out. So 3 laps to go now. Surely we could see Verstappen winning this race. And continue Red Bull's dominance at the Spanish Grand Prix, of course. Won the last one at Aragon with Yuki Tsunoda. Wait, no. He was an AlphaTauri, wasn't he? Yeah. Nice one. Well done. Stupid idiot. You actually remember on that one, Pierre Gasly barrel rolling out of that Grand Prix, which was a big off for him after riding Nick de Vries through the chicane, which was a weird incident. Anyway, still Verstappen leading, but Norris with the DRS, so it's anyone's game still in this top 3 really. Could Behrman win back-to-back races and have a huge lead over Oscar Piastri in the championship? Could Verstappen win and finally start his season off currently on 5 points in the championship? He needs a good result here today. Or can Lando Norris close the gap on Oliver Behrman to only a few points? We'll find out. As no one, because all 3 of them come into the pits, and Gasly in as well, who knew that boat to the lead. It will promote Frederick Vesti as the crash into the pit lane there. I think Verstappen got spun round, did he? And who leads? It's Oscar Piastri, who stays out. Mari Boy is in second, with 2 laps to go. What results we could have here? Because surely they just hold on. If there's a risk of a puncture, they're still fine. Piastri could win this race, or Mari Boyer could take it into the final lap. We've got Sainz in 3rd and Antonelli in 4th place as well, quite far back. But surely, this is your results now. I think they're all so far away from each other. Maloney's in 10th. He still could still score points here, by the way. Russell in 11th. Where are the McLarens? And where's Norris and them lot? Verstappen, who's that just pitted. 17th, 16th, 15th, 13th. Just wow. We've got a battle for the lead though. We've had 1.5 laps to go. Could it be Oscar Piastri who will take the championship lead with this win? Or will it be wildcard driver, Formula 3 driver, Mari Boyer? If he gets this win, just wow. It will be a while before he gets a full-time drive in Formula 1. And in comes Piastri! No way. Piastri's come in. And Mari Boyer leads. Boyer could win this race. White flag is out. Out of the pits comes Hamilton a lap down to ruin his fun. No, he's not, because he stays in front of him. But Mari Boyer's in because Piastri, his tyres, why is he pitted? He could have taken the championship lead there, but he doesn't. Stroll's not going to... Oh, he might score points with Piastri pitted. Where's Piastri going to come out? It won't be anywhere near anyone. It's not going to matter though for like championship wise, because Behrman's in 17th. Gasly's on a point scoring finish which will end. But Mari Boyer currently leading this race. The gap between Sainz is quite close. Sainz could win this actually. Let's go on board with Sainz. He'll have the DRS. I think Boyer has DRS too though. Let's see. He does have DRS. They both have DRS. It's Sainz versus Boyer for the win. It's a battle between the Spaniards. Sainz wants this win. He hasn't won since Austria in 2023. But it's a wildcard driver, the full-time Formula 3 driver, who is in a championship battle, but which was ultimately won by Rafael Camara. But let's see, into the final corner. Is he going to make the move done? No, he's not. He goes wide, and Boyer can win. Here comes Kimi Antonelli. Is he going to win this race? We'll see it on board from Sainz. No, he's not, because Boyer's going to win the Spanish Grand Prix. Antonelli just too far back. He comes out of nowhere. It's another 2nd place for the Italian. Sainz's heartbreak win, or his win taken away from him through the final corner. Where on earth did Kimi Antonelli come from there? I did not see him that close. But Mari Boyer, on the first time of asking, the 4th time Formula 3 driver, the wildcard driver, is a Grand Prix winner. Wow. Did not see that coming. And only the 2nd races where wildcards can run, and we've already seen one win a race. I'm speechless, as you can hear. It's doing 4th as well. Maloney's point scoring run unfortunately comes to an end. Stroll gets his first point of the season. That means everyone has scored a point this year. Gasly as well, his point scoring runs come to an end. championship contenders, 17th, 16th and 14th. Leclerc, highest driver in the championship to score a point today. But Murray Boyer, take a bow. That will shoot him up in the championship order. On my list, he'll put him 5th in front of Leclerc. But of course, we've got points to add on, so he won't be 5th. He'll be at least in the top 10, I'm pretty sure. And I cannot believe that. Murray Boyer, a Grand Prix winner. A shame for Ocon had well down in 20th place. I'm not too sure what happened to him. But he was looking near the front. But of course, I mean, everyone who ran near the front didn't score a point. Verstappen as well. His miserable season continues in 12th place. Boyer, the only wildcard to even finish in the top 10 as well. But wow, Aston Martin get their first win of the season. And Aston Martin have a future driver on their hands with Murray Boyer. Anyway, let's go through the results. Hamilton, of course, a lap down in 23rd after that spin he had into turn 1. Palou, I can't speak, IndyCar champion, crowned last week, right at the back this time. Pourchaire 21st, Ocon 20th, Roglic 19th, Vesti 18th, Behrman, the championship leader, in 17th place. Second in the championship, Piastri 16th. We've got Gasly, his point scoring run for this season coming to an end in 15th. Norris, another championship contender, he's in 14th place. Marty 13th, the wildcard driver, second in the F2 World Cup, unfortunately. Not able to repeat that today. Verstappen 12th. Maloney 11th. His point scoring run in Formula 1 comes to an end. It's the first time in his career he's not scored a point. Stroll 10th, he gets his first point for the season. Russell 9th, Lawson 8th, Leclerc 7th, the highest driver in the championship going into this weekend to score a point. Snowder 6th, Albon 5th, Doohan, another impressive run for him, in 4th. Sainz, after the miserable season he's had, it's a good 3rd place for him. And Nelly, it was 0.033 of a second he lost out to Boyer. He can't get his first win in Formula 1, but it's the Super Spaniard, the wildcard driver, Murray Boyer, who wins it. Wow, take a bow, Murray. That is a great race. Anyway, we will be back 2 weeks' time for the Canadian Grand Prix. Qualifying 11:30 UK time. Don't know what that is local time. I think it's 6:30 PM. And then lights out 10 PM local UK time. 5 PM local time, of course. But yeah, of course, a weird weekend, Labor Day weekend. So anyway, we'll see you for that one. But thank you for watching.